Hello students, we are on homework 3, number 6. All of homeworks 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are due tomorrow. And so I'm just going back over a majority of them because on homework 7, it is just a compilation of every single thing that we've already done. All right, so we're back at homework 3 where we're talking about rotating about the origin. And so we have a rectangle here. Here are my 4 points at rotating counterclockwise 270 degrees. All right, so I'm starting here at this point, -1 and 6. Okay, if you look over on the wall, okay, over there, all right, you'll see that -1 and 6, our rules are that I take the x value, bring it to the y, and change the sign, and my y stays the same. So this is going to flip to 6 and 1. This is going to flip to 8 and 0. This is going to flip to 5 and -6. And this is going to flip to 3 and -5. And so we have taken all of our pre-image points. We're rotating this around 270 degrees. And so now we have our C prime, D prime, E prime, F prime. Okay, this is a reminder for number 3. If your substitute could please pause the video right now and give everybody about 5 minutes to work on homework 3. Okay, now we're on homework 4. Okay, and we're looking at, let's look at number 3. And we're going to have to take this in 2 parts because it's kind of long. All right, so this is now rotating at these numbers, okay, or at this amount, degree and direction. And here is my point of rotation. Okay, so again, this is a 3-step process. Okay, the first thing that we have to do is that we have to create a vector from this point to here. So my vector would be -5 to -13. Okay, and that's going to be -8. -4 to -3, it's going to be 1. All right, so now if I'm going 270 counterclockwise, now I take what's in this vector and I use the rules over on the wall. Okay, 270 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, my x and y value are going to switch, and I'm going to change the sign on my x. Okay, so this is going to switch, and that's now 1 and +8. This is now going to switch, and that's 2 and 7 and +2. This -1 and 2, okay, again, we get these from how far away these are. Okay, this is -2 and 7. It went up from -4 to 3. Okay, and then I get from -5 to -6, it went down 1, and -4 to -2, it went up 2. Okay, so then I switch, flip right here. So now I have 2 and 1. Okay, so now I take these vectors and I add them, okay, to my point of rotation. So -5 and 1, -4, -4 and 8, 4, -5 and 7, 2, -4 and 2, -2, -5 and 2, -3, -4, 1, -3. All right, so that is problem 3 on homework 4. Now I am going to expect to see the graphing. Okay, so here is your pre, image, here is your image, okay? To where here's your 3 points, and then the points that we found over here are now your new points. So that is a rotation about -5 and -4, okay? Again, where you have to find the vector between the point of rotation and find the vector between the point of rotation and your pre-image. Then you have to, once with those vectors, apply the rules, okay, that you see again over there on the wall. And then, once you find your new vectors, add it to your point of rotation, okay? If my sub could please pause this part right here and give you, again, about 5 minutes to work on homework 4. Okay, now we're looking at homework 5, and let's look at number 9. These are dilations. Okay, these are dilations. Now dilations are probably the easiest, okay, because again, all you're taking is this multiplied by that to get your new point. All right, the only difference between these and what you see on the front is that these are just your points. And so you got to figure out what those points are. All right, so if we look at C right there, okay, we come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. And down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So we have 12 and we have 6. Now, when I multiply 12 times 1/3, okay, this is 12 times 1 is 12, divided by 3 is 4. Okay? And then the y part is 6. 6 times 1 is 6, divided by 3. Okay, oh, I forgot, that's -6. Okay, so -6 times 1 is -6, divided by 3, -2. Okay, part B, I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, I go over 3 and down 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is going to be, at this point, it's 3 and -3. And if I multiply by 1/3, 3 times 1, 3. 3 divided by 1, 3 is 1. -3 times 1, -3, divided by 3, -1. Okay, then part D. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, since this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, and then I just go back 3, so this should be at 9 and -15. 9 times 1 is 9, divided by 3 is 3. -15 times 1, -15 divided by 3, -5. And then E over here, this is going to be X is 3 and Y is -12. So 3 times 1 is 3, divided by 3 is 1. -12 times 1, -12, divided by 3, -4. Okay, so again, this is your image. Okay, this is your pre-image already given, and you're multiplying, okay, by, again, this times that will give you your new point. All right, and again, if the sub could pause the video for about 5 minutes and let them work on homework 5. All right, now we're at homework 6. And we've done a lot of these, okay, in class. Okay, so let's work on number 4. Okay, now my rules for dilation are up on the whiteboard. Okay, where it says dilation's not about the origin. Okay, it's right. You just follow my finger right to the whiteboard at the top. So I have 3 rules. Okay, 3 steps. I have to create a vector from the point of dilation to the preimage. Okay, so I'm creating this vector. So from -13 to -3 is up by 10. -2 to -2 is 0. Okay, then -13 to -3 is 10. -2 to 12, -10. And then -13 to -8, that went up 5. -2, -12 went down 10. Okay, now I multiply the vector that I found in step 1 by the scale factor. Okay, so I found my vectors in each one. Okay, now I just need to multiply by the scale factor of 1/5. So 10 times 1 is 10, divided by 5 is 2. 0 times 1 is 0, divided by 5 is 0. 10 times 1, 10, divided by 5 is 2. -10 times 1, divided by 5, -2. 5 times 1 is 5, divided by 5 is 1. -10 times 1, divided by 5, -2. So here are my new vectors. Okay, so step 1, I had to create a vector from the point of dilation, okay, to each of the preimage. Found that. Then I multiplied this times that, okay, and got my new point, my new vector. Okay, then, okay, I take these points, step 3, combine the vector from step 2 with the point of dilation. So 2 and 0, okay, that's going to give me -11, -2. 2 and -2 is going to give me -11 and -4. 1 and -2, -12 and -4. All right, so I have my 3 points. Here's my new point. Okay, and so we'll just slide this over. Okay, and there's my image, or pre-image I should say. Since I multiplied it by 1/5, I know it's going to be smaller. Okay, and there's my point of dilation. And how I know I'm correct is that if I take a ruler and put with those, okay, it goes through the point of dilation. If I take a ruler and go through both K's, I get to the point of dilation. If I go here, all right, and I go through all the J's, J prime, I go through the point of dilation. All right, that's going to help us for when we drop down, okay, to number 9. Somebody had a question about this. All right, oops, keep going. All right, to where how do we find, okay, if I set up, here are my 2 lines, how do we know what our center is and what our scale factor is? Okay, so first, I'm going to set this up, set up all my W's, okay, cut a straight line, then I set my V's and cut a straight line, okay, and where do they come at? This point right here, okay, and if I count over, that's -14 and -6. Okay, so now, how do I know what my scale factor is? Okay, well, I first take the vector from here to this point. So I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 2. Okay, so my vector here is 4. My vector here is 4. I went to the right 4. Oops, that pencil won't work. Maybe this one will. Hopefully. Okay. So my vector is to the right 4, down 2. Okay, and that's to the vector of W. So now, let's look at my vector all the way out here. Well, I know that this whole thing from here to here, okay, is going to be 15. So if I go to right there, okay, that's going to be 14 because everywhere across is 16, all right, just in this one, all right. So I go over 14 and I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay. So I go to the right 14 and I go down 7. Okay? So basically what I'm looking at here is what do I multiply 4 by to get to 14? So I'm basically asking 4 times x is equal to 14. Divide both sides by 4. Okay, and that's going to give me x is 14 over 4, which reduces to, 7 over 2. And then if I multiply negative 2 by what to get to negative 7? Again, 7 over 2 or 3.5. All right, so those are 2 problems. If I could get my wonderful, fantastic sub to pause the video for about 5 minutes. And let's have everybody work on 6. Okay, so now we're on to number 7. Okay, now again, I am going to expect to see graphing. Okay, and now in number 7, okay, we have two rules. This is called sequencing. This is when you have more, okay, than one option. So, or I should say you have more than one rule. So let's just follow what they ask. I am doing a translation along the rule of this, and then I reflect in the y-axis. Okay, so my first one's fairly easy. Okay, I'm taking negative 2 plus 6. And then I get negative 2, or then I get a positive 2 plus 6. And then I get a 0 plus 6. And then I get a negative 4 plus 6. So to follow that rule across the top, this means that I would have in my x values negative 4 and 2 plus 6 is 8. 0 plus 6 is 6. Negative 4 plus 6 is 2. Then on the y part, I get 7 plus 6 is 13. 3 plus 6 is 9. I'm sorry, we should be doing minus 8. I am so terribly sorry about that. Don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so now I take 7 minus 8, and I get negative 1. Excuse me. And then 3 minus 8, and I get negative 5. And then 1 minus 8, I get negative 7. And 5 minus 8, I get negative 3. So here are my points right here. Okay, but then I have to reflect across the y-axis. Okay? And if you look at the rules right next to the American flag and it says reflecting rules, go down to the second one. Okay? To where it says y values are the same and x values change the sign. Okay? Y values are the same and x values change the sign. So now, on my new points, all right, if y values are the same, so this is -1, my x values change the sign. So this is 4. So 4 and -1. And then I go down 1. Okay, to where again, y values are the same, x values change the sign. All right? And then I get -6 and -7. And then I get -2, -3. All right, so these are my points. X is 4. All right, X is 4. And Y is 1. Okay, and then I get -8. X is -8. Y is -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then -6 and 7. Okay, so I go to -6. Okay, right here and down to -7. And then I have -2. Okay, so 1, 2, and -3. And this right here, I believe there's a mistake up here. Okay, not with the math, but in the original part. And so, oh, that was my fault. 6 minus 2 should be a +4. I am so sorry. Okay, and so now that should be -4. Wow, I completely messed that up. I am so terribly sorry. Y'all are probably screaming at me right now. Please don't. All right, so that should be -4 and 1. So now, okay, this part here represents, okay, that's what you did at first. Okay, then you reflected, okay, across the y-axis. And again, I'm sorry, okay, about that. I did not catch that till the very end. All right, so now number 3. Okay, drop down to number 3 on homework 7. Okay, I have a dilation with a scale factor of 1/3, okay, centered at the origin, and then a translation across that vector, all right, of -5 and -1. So, dilation at the origin, easiest thing. You take this times that, and you get your new point. So if I take, let me try to get D in here. There we go. All right, so let me make sure that we're still able to see it. All right, great. Okay, so if I do this, I take it by 1/3. So 0 times 1/3, okay, 0. 6 times 1/3, 6 times 1 is 6, divided by 3, 2. -3 times 1 is -3, divided by 3 is -1. -6 times 1, -6, divided by 3, -2. Okay, and then -9 times 1, -9, divided by 3 is -3. And -6 times 1, divided by 3, -2. And then -12 times 1, -12, divided by 3 is -4. And then -3 times 1, -3, divided by 3, -1. Okay, so I just took this, all of this, multiplied by 1/3. Okay, and let me check my math very quickly. Okay, I think I'm good. So now I have to do a translation, okay, along this rule at -5 and -1. So all I'm doing is taking this and combining. Whenever it's a translation with a vector, I'm just combining. So this is now going to change, I should say, to -5 and 1. And then if I add -1 minus 5, -6, -2 minus 1, -3. -3 minus 5, -8, -2 minus 1, -3. -4 minus 5, -9, -1, minus 1, -2. And then, okay, this is what it should look like. Okay, to where I followed the rule. Here's my image. Okay, I dilate it around the origin to 1/3, so it's 1/3 of its size, and that's this part. Then I follow the vector here, and here are my 4 points. I will do one more, and that will be on the back. Okay, there's only 6 problems in homework 7, because again, all we're doing is following the rules of what we've done, of what we done, all right, of what we have completed so far in translations. Okay, so, all right, so I have to translate along this vector. Okay, and again, all this vector is doing is we're just combining these, okay, with each one. So on number 5, homework 7, so I add 7 to -3, and I get 4. All right, or I should say my new point, that's not a vector that we're creating, 4 and -4. Okay, then I have 0 and 3, so I have 7 and -3. Then I have -1 and 7, it's going to give me -6. I'm sorry, it's going to give me a +6, about make the same mistake again. 7 minus 1 is 6, 0 is -8. Okay, and then I have 7 minus 4 is 3. And 0 minus 9, -9. Okay, so these are now, okay, my 4 points based on this vector. Okay? So now they want us to move it 90 degrees counterclockwise about the rotation of 3 and -2. All right, well, if you remember back to what we did in 4, okay, to what we did in 4, we first had to make a vector, okay, between this point and this point. All right, so this vector is going to be from 4 to 3, okay, is that it went, oh, I'm sorry, from here to here, that's going to be 1, and that's going to be -2. Okay, and then we have from here to here, so that's going to be 4, and -2 to -3 went down 1. And then we have 3 to 6 went up 3, and -2 to -8, it went down 6. And then the next vector, okay, make sure that it's staying on there. All right, make sure that you can see it. Okay, yeah, still see it. All right, so it's going to be from 3 to 3 is 0, okay, and -2 to here, all right, it went down -7, okay? So now that I have my vector, okay, from the point of rotation to here, now I have to apply that vector, or I should say our point of rotation to point of rotation to right here. Created a vector, now I have to apply the rules. Well, when I go 90 counterclockwise, okay, when I go 90 counterclockwise, I switch my values and change the sign of my y. Okay, so I'm going to switch the values here. All right, I should have put this over here, so I'm going to make this now to where this is positive 2, positive 2 and 1. Okay, that's when I have applied that vector. Okay, then I have here, okay, switch my sign, flip my signs, okay, or flip the values and change the value of my y. So 1, and this would be 4. And then this is going to be a positive 6 and 3. Last one, and it's going to be 9 and 3. All right, so now what I have to do is with these values, okay, with my changing these signs, oh, I did this one wrong. I did the point and not the vector, so this should be at a 7 and 0. My fault. Boy, it's late at night, and I'm trying to make sure I get this done. Oops. So now, okay, so now I've created the vector. So again, I've gone from here, followed the rule, created the vector at 90 degrees counterclockwise, okay, then I applied, or I should say, hang on, there's my original translation. Then, from that point, I created a vector from there to there, from there to there, from there to there, and from there to there. And there are my 4 vectors. Then I applied the rules of 90 degrees counterclockwise to where I had to flip my values, change the sign of y. So now I have 2, 1, 1, 4, 6, 3, 7, 0. Okay, so now the last step is to add it here. Okay, so now I have 2 plus 3 is 5, 1 minus 2, negative 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 plus 3 is 9, 3 minus 2 is 1. 7 plus 3 is 10, 0 minus 2 is negative 2. And if I take my Elmo all the way out, slide this over, there we go. Okay, so now I have PQSR. Okay, PQSR. Here's my point of rotation. Here's my pre-image. I followed the rule of 7, 0, okay, and then I rotated it around this point, and there are my new values. Okay, so I did half of the homework on 7. Keep working on that this evening. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you guys on Thursday.